Beyond the stars lie a web of pearls, each gemstone a miniature world unto itself. Upon these worlds interconnected our stories are told, and the fate of creation hangs in the balance. Welcome to the Titan's Gift.
Hey, it's nice to be here. I'm looking up a new quick reference sheet so I can get sort of all the common roles on one page, and then, tick off spells and have it automatically sort of shift them all. So I've got like a combat sheet, like a combat routines, but then
very cool.
Yeah.
You should put that in another sheet beside the initiative.
Oh yeah, no, I have it in my own spreadsheet. I'll make a separate one.
Cool. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the not Dread Circus.
No!
This is Titan's Gift.
Oh, we get a free hero point.
It's been a week, man. The Titan's Gift campaign. Episode, I don't know, 22, I think? Episode 22? Yes, episode 22. I'm your demon host, Marty, joined by the Seattle crew, Luke, Levi, and Matt. Neil is oof. Hope he feels better.
Feel better, Neil.
Send him the loves. All right. How is everyone doing? It's been a week since we last gathered.
Pretty
Go around
good.
the table and let everyone know how you're doing.
Pretty good. I'm just trying to make a quick reference sheet of all of the horrors that Summon Horror can summon, because horror, right? Horrors.
You're not saying it any clearer. Horror.
So I don't quite know what a Sethnigot Quillipoth is,
Got to learn.
nor
Sounds demonic.
do I know
A Clipoth is like a proto-demon, like a really older race of demons.
they're an Urdefan.
Don't know.
Yeah. So I'm putting pictures in there. Quick reference.
Got it. This is for your summon evil Uki spell that you then quickly follow up with the spell that makes you forget that
Every time.
you used an evil spell.
The old man, to the best of his recollection, has never summoned a horror before.
Interesting. Cool. How was your week?
Pretty good. Got a haircut. So, that's my head now.
That happened. This is my head now.
I gotta live with it,
It'll grow.
Show what you got. That's what Dad always said. You ain't following challenged.
Matt, what's going on?
Some good things, some difficult things. We made some peach pie, which turned out real well. Work's going okay. Yeah, yeah. Some more paperwork coming up in my life.
Oh, yeah.
This is my head now.
Tax season.
So,
This is my head now? Oh yeah, taxes. That's a thing I'll do. Make a note to do your taxes.
Is this really the reminder?
It's all up in an envelope upstairs. I'm on vacation, man.
Your reminder to pay taxes was an offhanded D&D comment. Oh, yeah, taxes.
Wait, how many years do you have to pay taxes for?
I've got an agreement with the king.
It's all collected. I just need to go and deliver the envelope. That's technically
48 hours from now, you get an audit letter.
Yeah, exactly. I can't play D anymore anyway. They confiscated all the computers.
We saw your live stream.
Levi, what's going on?
I did not get my taxes done this week. I've just been working. Last weekend I went to the Fremont neighborhood, and it's actually pretty fun over there.
It's pretty alright.
Before, but there's some good stuff over there.
There's a bridge and a troll.
There's a bridge and a troll, and some good little breweries, and
Yeah, Fremont Brewery is pretty
Fremont,
good.
Schilling.
I've been there a few times.
You can
Pretty
go
fun.
goldfish racing at Woodskis.
They got beer there, I hear.
Goldfish racing?
Yeah, you get to pick a goldfish out of a tank, and everyone puts in $5 that wants to race, and then they put them in these little lanes, this might not sound good to people who really love animals, but they're in these little troughs, and then you shoot a squirt gun at them until they go, and whichever makes it to the end wins the pot of $5.
It was fine until you shot them with a squirt gun. What? That's okay. Well,
You don't think that'd be allowed in Seattle, of all places?
it does seem like
Loser, gotta drink the goldfish.
Yeah.
Chug.
Don't blame Levi or us. Blame the place that does it.
Yeah, I didn't
I didn't
play.
even know this
Okay.
existed until right
But you
now.
watched.
I watched.
And bet.
Oh, I screamed. Yeah.
Go, Google, do it.
When in Rome, you know.
Google, let's go. Don't let me down.
Then when they put the fish that I bet that lost back in the tank, I yelled at it for a while and then went on my way.
It sure learned its lesson.
On my way.
Yesterday I got back from GaryCon. GaryCon was a lot of fun. Got to play in some games. Actually got to play on the same side of the table as Adam. That has not happened in something like 13 years. So that was a lot of fun. Adam and I role-played the shit out of our characters. He was playing a bard, he was singing songs, I was playing a Greek priest, I had nicknames for all the Greek gods, and had like, by the three-pronged dinner fork of Poseidon, you know? And everyone's looking at us like, who the fuck are these two nutjobs? It was great. It was awesome.
Show them how it's done.
Yep. Collect thine bees and wasps from the bushes, and they're like, "The fuck are you talking about? Collect your arrows, assholes."
Turn your
Why did you
goddamn
just say
brain
that?
off.
Right. the DM was smiling. To each his own. So we had a lot of fun with that, and hanging out with Adam is always a good thing. Went to a few of the DM sessions; they were okay. Learned a little bit about the origins of Dungeons and Dragons and the original campaigns that led up to it. It wasn't just one guy going, "Aha, this is a thing." It was a series of trials and errors and failures and successes as they were moving from running a simulation, i.e. wargame,
Right.
and more so moving to the paradigm shift was they were running a realistic experience, but not necessarily a real world simulation. And then the movement of controlling big groups of armies down to a guy, and that guy wasn't you. So there was this sort of shift in focus that was really neat, and that took years to happen. It did not happen overnight, and it wasn't just one dude. There were a lot of the old guard that were there, a lot of gray beards, a lot of gray hairs. And it was interesting to it was a smaller con, it was just interesting to bump into some of them and have a chat.
Yeah.
Have a chat with them. Like I met Skip Williams and David Zeb Cook while I was there. They're really cool. Kind of fathers of the industry almost. So I had a lot of fun. Tired, but good to be back.
Welcome back.
home. Yeah.
Where was it again? Milwaukee or
It was in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, outside of Milwaukee.
did Necrosnake play?
Necrosnake! No, that was the name of episode 20. Good segue. Episode 21 was the last game we played last Tuesday. It was called Down the Hatch. The Jerks Emeritus brave a realm of interconnected dimensional chambers beneath the hut with chicken feet. They face the shadowy spirits of sacrificed children, find the throne of the Archfey, and discover the attic of the hut. They also discover the name of the hag that owns this place.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
This particular Baba.
Her name, Baba Yaga. The group, I think, after discovering several chambers that were weird and wonderful and scary all at the same time, decided to pull back.
Yeah, we're
They
exposed
pulled
and
back
done.
into the entrance shaft, climbed the ladder, and found Mokranam and Malbut arguing. Mokranam had stuck Malbut to the ground, and they were arguing about whether or not to close the hatch. Luckily, they didn't. I think you guys went into the hut and went as far as figuring out whether you were going to sleep in the bed.
Yeah, and we decided we were gonna.
Okay. I've got the hut map selected, and we'll just sort of resume from here.
I should probably connect to map tools.
I was so close to having the whole first 2 levels of horror completed.
Who are you sticking into the bed?
Or have you already done this healing?
We sort of ended quickly. For sure Tech is going in the bed because he actually
How many people can we fit multiple people in?
Yeah, it is a bed that I guess a huge creature or 2 large creatures could sleep in. So by that math, you could fit 9 medium-sized creatures in the bed.
Alright. Tech definitely goes in.
Yeah.
Can we copy
Manny,
the
I think, goes in.
tokens from the basement that have like the wisdom?
I know that I
Have all the
damage.
damage on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do that. I will erase everyone but Makarnam and Vladimir.
We should put Malbut in it.
Heal his mind.
I'm not saying it would necessarily help, but it can't hurt.
Can't hurt.
Okay, you want me to grab the tokens from the hut map?
If you
Has
could,
all the damages on it.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I quickly look up one more token. Oh, it's a reef claw. Legalize it.
Weird.
No.
Reef. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Sounds like reefer.
Yep. No. Took me a minute. I am
channel, so stop it.
old. I believe is what I am. Old.
This ghoul picture in Pathfinder looks a lot more like a goblin to me than a ghoul.
All right, the tokens that have all the ability damage are now on the screen. Vladimir skitters away when you guys are all loading onto the bed. Tech is going to sleep on the bed.
Alright. We need Tech on that bed. I got some con damage, so the professor probably wants to get all up on that bed.
Manny would like to, I'm sure, get on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sleep up by a pillow here. I have some damage. I'll sleep on the bed.
Didn't I take a -2 wisdom or something like that? I got.
Did
I think that was last game from my cloud, and that one's very temporary.
Okay, thank God.
Zephyros didn't get hit with anything. I guess
I think he did.
there's nothing on his token. Just haste and fly.
You know what? Let's just drop him on the bed right there. There's plenty of space.
Yeah.
He definitely got hit, but did he get hit though? I don't know.
I don't know if he got hit with the drains or whatever. Or the
All of them drains
Damage.
kind of automatically, so maybe he didn't get hit. It's possible.
Does Ludo need healed up?
I didn't take any damage.
Really?
I had a -2 attack. What was that from? Something happened.
Were you sickened by something?
Maybe. I stayed pretty. I was either sneaking or I was behind that barrier the whole time.
-2 attack for you meant you. Oh, -2 attack because it was really far away when you were throwing your bombs.
Okay. I'm just gonna hang out in this chair.
Okay. Yeah, you can get rid of the note for the -2 attack.
I'm gonna...
Where's Malbut? Malbut, the stickiness eventually wears off, and
We'll put him in the bed, right? Try and heal his brain.
I mean, it can't hurt.
Look at that cuddle puddle. Good lord.
Yeah. Yeah, this is homie.
Malbut wanted to close the hatch.
Yes, well, in that one time you did lead us to your house, which was a giant maze of horrors that tried to murder us all evening, so, you know, you gotta kind of just roll with the punches, I suppose, Makarnom.
You've been 100%
Thank you
wrong.
for not letting him do that, Makarnon.
Yes, yes, of course, thank you.
Yes, I didn't want my friends trapped in this house. This house might try to eat you too.
Yes, it might.
No doubt.
It'd be very unfortunate.
What's with all these houses trying to eat us?
No, I don't know.
Vladimir,
That's why we should live in forests.
annoyed that everyone's on the bed, and then Ludo's on the
Just
on the
lounging.
table. Yep, roams around a little bit. Pixel eventually settles in near Pharisee. Mokranam turns into a vase.
We'll make sure the
No, he turns into a box.
we'll make sure the
And it looks a
There you
lot
go.
like this.
Show him the tongue. Oh yeah, it's the money shot.
I didn't even notice the tongue.
Oh, you did?
The little
Yeah.
the tongue sleeve thing.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. You have to taste the things that you're keeping.
Oh, for keeping or for eating.
Hey.
So we've got something to use for Makronam on the channel. We've got the tech mask.
Yep.
Yeah. Where is it?
It is at home because I do not want to wear it for 6 hours straight.
You don't like that jungle heat?
I will make sure the command word on the giant dire polar bear is set up to defend us.
Cool. Good precaution. And then it looks like you guys are going to sleep in the hut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long are you going to rest for?
I think a while.
Just a casual 30 days.
Casual.
We don't want to stay too long.
What was the specifics of how this bed worked? I think we had it in.
It increases the rate at which you heal normally.
Mm-hmm.
Normally would be 1 ability point per 8 hours on each of the scores that are downed,
Mm-hmm.
which means that the bed would increase it to 2. And yeah, at 8 hours, you guys will heal up 2 ability score points in each ability score.
If we slept 12, could we get 3?
No, the next
We'd have
Yeah.
to sleep
Let's try
16
that.
hours.
the next step is resting for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, that would increase your ability scores by 2, and that would be 3.
Bunch of sleepy boys.
I think we get a pretty significant benefit just from that 8 hours.
Yeah, does
Tech is super dumb still, but not like super dumb.
Deadly dumb.
does he need? He doesn't really need wisdom or int for anything, does he?
Wisdom for saves.
Yeah, wisdom for saves, but he'll only be down to int for I think simple tasks.
He's just gotta slash things up. He's just gotta murder mostly.
I think mostly we might need to yeah.
You'll recover fully. Does
I'll recover
Manny
fully.
need wisdom or charisma? Saves
Well,
for wisdom.
I mean
Wisdom he needs for his spells.
spellcasting. But down 1 isn't too terrible.
Yeah, he doesn't do a ton of that. Yeah, I think 8 hours is good.
Okay, so the lights are turned down low. There's just a crackle from the fireplace. Pretty soon, it is the mild snores and sleeping sounds and occasional bump and jostle from somebody moving on the giant bed. The bed is extremely comfortable, and you sort of sink into it. And your dreams are deep and wonderful. Those that are sleeping on the bed are very, very groggy in their rest. Ludo, you just kind of overstuffed chair. You're like, this is pretty comfortable, and you sort of pass out on one of the arms of the chair.
Like at a party.
You wake up a little while later, and you hear some purring,
Oh.
and like kind of meeting at the on like one of the other wide stuffed arms of the chair. He kind of lays down. He looks at you.
And scratch the side of the cushion, see what he does.
Okay, he just puts his head back down
Oh,
and
okay.
goes to sleep.
It's cute.
That's cute.
What does the crawling hand of the archmage do while you're?
It doesn't have to sleep, does it?
No.
It plots.
It just rolls its fingers all night.
Yeah.
You find it sort of tapping and then walking over to
Where do you leave
like a
your
spot by your
spellbooks?
neck.
Like, where do you keep your spellbooks?
On me? I guess the spellbooks are too big to fit into my belly pouch, huh?
Yep.
Probably on me in a pocket or something.
You have books in your pocket.
These just giant pockets.
So you have a backpack somewhere in the room that has your books and equipment in it.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably have it beside your bed because you're suspicious, and the crawling hand of the Archmage goes inside of the backpack, pulls out your spell book, opens it up, and is now checking it out while you're sleeping.
Nice.
He's learning.
He's brailing it.
Yeah.
Tracing the rooms as he's going.
It
He
takes
must
a
have some supernatural senses.
finds like a 25 cent piece and rolls it slowly across its knuckle.
That's an awesome idea. No, it hasn't done that yet. But the crawling hand hasn't touched a spellbook in a really long time, and we wanted to see what kind of master you are.
Yeah, go town, have fun.
Or it's just an odd spiritual itch from previous from previous owners, or perhaps a vestige of the Archmage himself still remains. It definitely has a personality.
Yeah.
Which you have fueled through the bond. It's about 4 hours later when most of you are jolted awake by the hatch closing.
And we'd closed it before.
You have not closed the hatch before.
Didn't we close it at the end of last game?
Well, I think maybe we didn't.
I thought we did.
Check the tape.
we might have, because we were worried things would come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Well, then Ludo's the only one that woke up. Then that several hours later, you kind of like there's light coming from the center of the room, and you notice that the hatch is sort of disappearing, and there was the brief flash of the Hadean circle, and then everything settles down to the way that it was originally. Like the hatch is now closing and may require the same steps as before to reopen.
that wouldn't surprise me.
You notice Vladimir kind of looked, and look, he didn't really seem to, he looked at it, but then he kind of put his head back down like it wasn't enough stimulus for him to go after it.
He was gonna look at Vlad like, if you can't find any more bugs, you might be in trouble. He
Yep.
kind of nods up.
It's like he wanted to go to bed, but he didn't like what you said. Kind of gave a half growl to that. So 8 hours are 2 4-hour chunks. I need 2 percentile rolls. Oh god. Let me check out what percent. No, not percentile. We're at D79 and then a D78.
I'll take the 79.
Hey, Ahmed, how's it going?
Let's chat.
Kenny, how's it going?
67.
78, here we go. 68.
The PC version of the TARDIS.
67 and 68 as the outputs. Those are
Nice. I will take down the D79 to a D78 and then to a D77. A D Raymond Bork for those who are hockey fans.
nope,
Nope, I have no idea.
no
Okay.
clue. Yeah, it's a nice try.
Yep.
Thanks.
Ludo, you're the first one to rise. Everyone's still just sort of sleeping.
Oh, nice stretch.
You notice the box that is Makronom also fell asleep, and you can see like 2 droopy eyes and like a tongue kind of wag as it's snoring slightly.
Luna's gonna get up and walk over to the hatch and give it a couple stomps just to see if he can.
Yeah, the hatch isn't visible anymore.
Right. Well,
Yep.
where it was,
Yep.
he's gonna give it a.
It just feels like floorboards.
He's gonna go wonder, see if he can find any coffee or tea or anything he can make. Or
Yeah, Vladimir gets up, he stretches, and he's just following you.
Get him up.
He sits up at the table and is He looks hungry.
I think for the second, I'm gonna try and pet him. I think I failed the first time I tried to pet him before, but
Okay, give me a diplomacy check or a handle animal.
it's gonna have to be diplomacy. Not ideal, but it could work out. 15.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get a quick pet in before he kind of.
Wait, 19. Sorry.
You get the kind of cat pet in as you put your hand out, and as it's going by, you manage to kind of pet it from the head to the tail. He goes up across from you and just sort of has his paws up at the table as if he's looking around for something to eat. That's one thing you didn't see in this place was a food bowl at all.
Yeah, I know. That's why he was so into the fish treats.
Maybe he starves to death every few days?
The 999 lives.
9 times 9 times 9? It's a lot of lives, but
No.
yeah.
Nobody knows how many for sure.
Maybe he has some regenerative capabilities. There is that circle under the bed.
Right. Ludo is going to put on some coffee or tea, whatever he's found, if he's found anything, and then get butt naked and hop into that tub.
Okay, even the splashing of the tub, it seems to wake up Makronon, but the others are just like
Gone.
snoring away, and they look really, really, really comfortable and in a really deep sleep.
Do I have ink of any kind, or is there? Oh, can I take? Is there charcoal in the fireplace?
So all these things are, yes, you could find things that are equivalent to chi in the alchemist lab, subtract $5 from the total of the components that are there. You could take a bath, coffee if you brought coffee. I don't know if this place has coffee. And there is plenty of ink in the mystical alchemy lab.
Oh yeah. We were gonna get the bright idea to start drawing on who he thinks will take it the best, which would probably be Tech.
You catch Vladimir starting to like sniff around your backpack. If you have food on you, that's probably what he's smelling.
Hey, I give him one of those. You give him the cats. They're doing so bad.
He looks up, his ears are back a little bit.
Are you still nude?
Yeah, oh yeah. I haven't gotten dressed yet. I hopped out of the tub.
Just like, ooh, I have an
I
idea.
was too excited.
Like 3 eyes open up on Makronom, and then he settles on the eye that's closest to you. The other 2 disappear into his body. You notice that the crawling claw is just sort of resting on top of a spell book that is out of the professor's bag.
Would it kind of look like?
It kind of scuttles to face you as you approach.
Should you be doing that? Well, I don't speak hands. You want to draw on these guys with me? Alright.
It scuttles over and it is interested in the drawing implements, and eventually it does successfully pick up an ink pen.
Whoa, it's learning. Seems dangerous, but
It's tapping on the.
right. I don't know if I should have given ink to a magical hand, but he's tapping on the.
He's tapping like he's waiting for ink.
Is he still next to the book?
Yeah.
All right, I'll put a little one of the things down that I found.
He
Take it away.
he dips the and then he's just waiting.
Get him.
He climbs up onto Tech and just starts drawing weird arcane looking sigils on Tech.
Need some ink. Ludo's going to ask for a turn, and then he's going to draw whatever the equivalent is of elf, or not elf, elephant or fant genitalia down his trunk, down Zeth's trunk.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Oh, really? That's gonna blow that out of the park. 26, not really.
Alright, you don't find the ink pen the really good thing. You end up just using your like pinky finger and you're kind of like painting as opposed to drawing.
I try to make it high quality. Alright.
The crawling hand jumps for the pen and then jumps back and is like drawing much more intricate sort of designs all over the plates on Tuck's head.
Ludo's gonna become impatient and just kind of give up. See if
Okay,
anybody gets
they stir somewhat. Okay, you being obvious, eventually the crawling hand just sort of gives like the professor a nudge, and it takes a couple of nudges. Yeah, normally you have to make DC 5 or it's subtract 5 from perception checks when you're sleeping. This bed is making that check much, much worse because it's a deep way to sleep. Everyone is really groggy and doesn't really want to get out of bed that morning. But you do recover 2 ability points in each of your ability scores. So I think that heals Zephyros completely. He sits up for a moment. He just sort of sits on the side of the bed. Manny gets 2 and 2 back. Pharisee, I think you and Pixel are fine.
Yep.
Ludo's going to...
Pixel goes, "What have you been up to?" What's that on Zephyros's face?
Ludo is getting dressed again, by the way. Confidently, though.
There better not be any on me. Well, I don't know. How does it look?
What are all of you looking at? Says Zephyros. You might wanna...
I'm gonna pretend me and Vladimir are just kind of like, oh, moseying around.
Zephyros finds a reflective surface in the alchemy lab. That is not funny. Professor, you do notice the book out of the bag.
Oh, what is this?
And that like 10% of Tech's face has got weird designs on it.
Oh. Do you have anything to do with this,
and then sort of an empty ink vial and a clearly used pen just on the ground.
Well, I see that you've been keeping up with your studies at least. A few dalliances here and there, practical jokes is to be encouraged as a distraction, I suppose.
Goes up to your spellbook and taps it.
Yes. Well, you know, I used to be a lot better a few years back. Nasty drain never really recovered from. But this is what we have to work with. I mean, unless you remember some, feel free to help pen some fresh ones in there. No one's gonna fault you for that.
Yeah, it just climbs your back and sits on your shoulder.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go to the door and look out it as I suppose Ludo had made some tea. I'll probably get a cup of that first and then stand in the doorway and look outside. I'm looking to see if like I hear bugs or birds or it looks like anything living is around.
Okay, so I'm going to switch to a different map. It is outside picture.
There's trees.
Yes, so there are trees. There's wind. It does appear to be... Let's see, what time of day did you come to the hut?
I have no idea. We were in that
It would have been
Morning.
morning. Yeah, we would have come in the morning.
Okay, so then you guys probably spent some time before going to bed. It was likely going to bed early, so
Yeah.
this place does have sort of a light in one direction that you might think might be dawn.
Do I hear the singing of insects at night or anything?
It's too windy. There's just a bit of wind in the trees. Is all that you can hear, and maybe a creak from the gates.
Do I see
Covered with skulls.
any birds flying around?
You do not see any birds. Give me a perception check.
What's perception?
It's the ability to
15. Totally terrible.
Okay. You might see one of the posts where that Necrophidius would have come from, the necrosnake.
Ooh! I see spider webs on this fence.
Sure.
If I zoom in the picture at least.
Yeah, okay. You could see some spider webs then.
Yeah, it looks like we might have more spiders over there on the fence, but more of those necro snake things.
Periodically, there are those very large bone constructs worked into the fence, while along the fence in between the large bone constructs are the necrophidiuses. There are quite a few. The necrophidii, I suppose.
Might have to check the trees for some bugs. No, they're not really good without being able to fly.
And then if we go to the outside map, top-down view, you'll get a better idea of how many of the bone creatures, the tall bone creatures, are these white dots.
There's a dead guy out there, right?
No,
Is that guy real?
no. I didn't notice him before. We'll just make this a splotch.
Suppose we'll need to go check those trees, find some sort of bug or spider or something.
Oh, I see. You're looking for.
Something to get the portal back up.
Yep.
Don't know if anyone has any proper desire to shimmy down a rope and do that, but.
Worst case scenario, said Sephiros, we can go back to the slough and find some vermin.
Can anyone fly?
Slew's probably on fire still, unless we left it.
Mandy gets out.
Well, that'll concentrate all of the living things into the areas that aren't burning.
Yes, well, I would like to not be burning, though, if I can help it.
Sure.
Well, shall we head back down there? Plenty more to explore.
Seems to have disappeared.
Well, we'll have to use the spell again, I think.
Melbert can always go and find more spiders. Yes, Melbert knows where there are bugs.
Oh, you would do that, Marbot?
Yes, if you sign a contract.
Sure.
What will you contract Melbert to do?
To find some bugs or some spiders.
Yes, Melbert could do this, yes. Oh, if only Melbert could go back to the Villa Malavella.
Yes, well, that's too bad. I guess you'll have to just make do.
No. What's rubbing his head? He doesn't look very happy.
Why can't he go back to the Villa Malavella?
Well, suppose you can.
Alright, what are you guys doing? So it feels like you're preparing spells for another excursion.
I think we're gonna go back down, right?
Yeah, seems that way.
Is there something specific that we're looking for? The place is dangerous.
No, look around. Sure, it's filled with all sorts of interesting things.
The tech looks still kind of fucked up. Tech is like nibbling on the end of the blanket.
Well, he'll
On the
be
bed.
alright. He's just a bit, you know.
There's things in there, sure, but I don't know.
Vladimir sneaking around the room and trying to disappear underneath the bed.
The next thing to do in there is well, I mean, we can explore it. We can also we need to find a way to dispatch those daemons and sit in the chair.
Yes.
Yeah, the guardian daemons you learned were just slightly tougher than trolls. Was one of the things you learned.
Oh yeah, pretty gnarly.
Wouldn't be bad to sort them out. Fair to say, if you could get them predisposed to it, I could hit them with a bit of the old bark 1-2. Might be able to take care of one of them easier.
Could be. Well, that's a thought.
Do we want to explore further, or do we want to go straight away at them?
Turk! And he just throws some meat on the ground, and Tech kind of goes over, jumps over, and starts gobbling it up.
We do have affairs in the desert as well.
True.
And, the city is in chaos.
I don't particularly want to go there if it's on fire.
Ah, you and your fires.
Burns trees, from what I heard.
It's true.
The whole city was in a blaze. There were just a few buildings that you could see that were on fire, but yes.
We could fight in the slough. And although Tech isn't at his best.
Yes.
Tech just wanders over to you when you say his name, and he just stops.
Oh, Tech is a nice bug.
My candles should be about done as well.
That's a happy chirp.
Ah, now we know why you want to go back down. You need those damnable candles.
Plus, think of all of the discoveries. We have the chance to see something no one gets to. An entrance to the hills. What knowledge there must be down there. What treasures.
You don't know me very well, do you?
There may be some sort of magic seed or some blood you can drip on a seed and it grows faster.
You still don't know me very well, but you make a good point. There are some things down there. Like this familiar statue. It's curious.
Yes.
Let me rest my head for just a moment. I'll rest my head on the pillow
Okay.
where I had set it next to Vladimir and asked.
Yeah, if you could paste. Is this a page in OneNote somewhere?
I've just been sort of tracking it underneath the pillow object on my character sheet.
Okay, that's fine.
But I can paste in chat what I asked. I asked.
Uda's gonna hold out the stirring spoon he found. Already got
I
this
found
full
Chelsea.
spoon.
Friend of yours? Should I revive her?
Yep.
That seems like something that would be of
Vladimir's
interest.
Chelsea, my mate, is she still alive?
I'll pick up the pillow and walk over to Vladimir
Okay.
and sit down and say, Vladimir, Chelsea is a skeleton, dead, but she's in a circle, kind of like that circle under the bed. That's almost complete. If I were to finish it, Chelsea would probably return.
Okay, he's looking up at you. He's sitting, like, perfectly at attention, listening to you.
Oh, now all of a sudden the cat has some manners now that it's interested in the bones. Oh.
Do you want Chelsea to return? Let's go with one meow for yes and two for no.
One long, pitiful meow comes from Vladimir.
Oh, 2 meows? No, oh, that's too bad. We could have done it easy too.
Yes.
It's full of sorrow and want.
Ah. Could you teach my pixel some things if I bring you your Chelsea back?
Well,
a less enthusiastic.
Yeah, whatever, sure.
I shall do what I can, Vladimir. Chelsea is in an attic full of boxes of things like tools and whatnot.
Okay, his tail is just thumping enthusiastically.
All right, excellent. Yes.
Well, I guess I'll go find the bugs then. Come on, Nicky Maester. I'll set up some kind of rope, tie it to something, and hang it out the front door.
Sounds good. Vladimir hops up onto the bookshelf and is moving along the top of the bookshelf.
Yes, Vladimir?
It seems to be looking in the direction of Pixel, who's dancing on a dinner plate right now.
Yes, I'm getting these bugs so I can open the door to rescue your friend, Vladimir. Not that it matters to you.
Yes, Pixel. Yeah, thank you, Professor. Pixel. See if you can have a little conversation with our friend Vladimir.
After I set up the rope, I'll just jump out the door.
Vladimir almost twitched like there was this cat-like instinct to bat at Pixel as she flew by. But you just see that the two of them sit there for a bit, and Pixel's now just sort of doing little pirouettes in front of him, and he's just sort of looking at her. They might be chatting.
Alright. I'll let him chat for a little while.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
Professor's outside with the hand.
Are you've gone outside, or you're looking outside?
We jumped out the door and feather fall down to the ground. There's a rope tied up out there.
Okay. Brave. Go to the outside map, top down.
Ludo's going to sit in the doorway casually with his cup of tea and watch.
Yeah, Manny's gonna move over to the door.
That's how this party operates.
Actually, Manny's just gonna move over, and he realizes it's the fucking professor out there.
That's a good point. Manny and the professor never really did get along too well.
Yep. So Ludo is keeping an eye on
He's gonna do one sling
Professor.
I don't know what got him.
Okay, and you feather fall down. So you feather fall down 30 feet. Yeah, the big, gnarly old oak trees, the hut with chicken feet. Oh, this thing is not attached to the ground. It's sunken into the ground a little bit, but now that you can see its undercarriage, if you will, the chicken feet sort of grow organically out of the bottom of the chicken hut, and it might be able to move. Like, the hut might be a thing that could run on its chicken feet.
Ooh. That's peculiar. Ever see anything like that, Nicky Mason?
The hand of Ikemesu is staying on your shoulder. Mm-hmm. Where are you going from here? And I think what I need is a percentile roll. Under 20, there's an encounter.
Oh, that's 1d10. It's not enough zeros. 61. I'm gonna go to this tree right in front of the professor.
Yeah, these are particular bushes, and those are the trees, and the dotted lines are where the branches of the trees kind of go.
Ludo, toss me down a jar or something.
Ludo's gonna look. Oh, has his little vials on him? Is that what you're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like hangs it out. Huh?
Yes, that'll do. Just something to put the bugs in.
Careful. He's gonna give it a nice.
Is it a nice toss?
An artful toss.
Give me a dexterity check. You could aid the dexterity check because you're giving it a nice toss. It's a thing that's falling down 30 feet, and it falls to the ground, there's a chance it breaks. So.
Just a dex check.
Yeah.
And I can aid him. He's dex checking.
Yeah.
I can aid with my
So,
dex.
+2 from Ludo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
14.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to catch the. You kind of pull out the folds of your robes a little bit, and you catch the vial in it.
I will summon an unseen servant.
Nice. I think we got one on the hut interior. Let me grab it. No. I don't. Conversation. Okay, the woods are dark. They're creaky in the wind. It is not a happy looking forest. You can see some stick figures made out of like a thin hemp and sticks kind of hanging in the trees, moving ever so slightly, adding to the creaking noise.
Like Blair Witch kind of stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
Was there a servant on the interior?
There you go. Okay, so you conjure your unseen servant.
I will send him and Icky Maester's hand to start poking around the outside of the bushes looking for bugs.
Okay. Perception or survival or knowledge nature would be good rolls for this.
I'm gonna probably do knowledge, nature.
For now, given that we haven't done skills for the crawling hand, just go ahead and we'll say it gives Professor a +2.
19.
Yeah, you actually go moving around a little bit. The crawling claw goes up on top of us like a small rock, and it just sort of taps it. And scuttles off the rock and waits. The unseen servant, I guess you command to lift up the rock, and it kind of flips the rock over. Oh yeah, I see a bunch of little fucking bugs and things like that. Just
Yeah.
all right. You got like a potato bug and a small worm in the same jar.
Not too bad there, Henry. Not too bad. Nothing like a good bit of field work to start the day. Proud of yourself for finding bugs.
Right.
I will take my bug, put the stopper back on the jar, straighten my robe a little bit, and I will walk back to the rope. I will hold on to it and I'll say, "Ho, Manny, make yourself useful and pull me up."
Manny's chewing on some jerky. His post-breakfast jerky.
If you jerk just a bit to get some slack, you could jerk just a bit to get some slack, and then quickly whip it around, and you might be able to get around the neck.
What was that, Pharisee?
Manny chuckles a little bit, and
Masterful whips.
then you feel the rope starting to move up.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
Can you make DC 5 climb check?
I hope so.
Okay. That's just holding onto the rope while you're being hauled up.
Let's see. I did.
The crawling hand just holds onto the rope. And I think your unseen servant will pop away. I don't think it can follow you up.
I could hold on to the rope.
Can it?
Yes, I can make the climb check.
I don't think the unseen servant can make any skill checks.
I can take. Do untrained. There says something specifically about it. Untrained one.
It has an effective strength score of 2. It can't perform any check that with higher DC than 10. Okay, well, yeah. The servant cannot fly, climb, or even swim, but this is just basically holding on. So yeah, it can hold on. The DC was 5, and it's got a strength of 2, which I believe is -4. So give me a D20 roll, -4.
-1.
Okay, so it almost got all the way up, and it slipped, and it just sort of slipped down the rope, and then 30 feet down, I think, is out of the...
It's close enough. I'm gonna go into the hut at some
okay,
point.
yeah.
Well, I've got some components for us to get this thing open.
Okay, that was good thinking.
You're welcome, by the way. No need to thank me at once.
Man, he doesn't. He just lets the rope go slack the second that you're over the top. Tosses the rope down and goes back to, you finished studying your spells? Almost, says Zephyros as he's using his trunk to move the next page.
I'll gather up the rope. And close the door.
Okay, the door closes.
Well, is everyone ready?
Tech seems to be just following Pharisee around like a puppy dog. Malbud has been just poking at the water. Not like he's taking a bath, he just seems to be lost in thought, poking at the water. Makernam seems eager, so does Zephyros and Manny.
Let's get to killing.
Standing around the hatch.
I will,
I'm gonna stay here and learn things from Vladimir, says Pixel.
Alright, be careful.
Yay!
Come back, Vlad is eating Pixel.
Oh, we'll stay up here again and make sure that Malbut behaves. And make sure that Vladimir doesn't eat Pixel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Makernam.
Yes, that's what Ludo said he was worried about just a moment ago.
Way to be a team player.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, yeah.
Part of the team.
I wink at him.
Okay. Like 4 eyes pop out of him and kind of blink back at you and then disappear into his body. Is that a wink?
Yup.
First step.
Kill.
First step.
Mhm.
You make the sacrifice.
Right?
The second step is you read the rune. And the third step is you cast the spell.
Okay. So you squish one of the bugs. Professor puts down the potato bug and stomp on it.
I pictured it more of a very symbolic stabbing down like a Mayan.
Do you kill the worm or the potato bug?
No! If I cut the worm in half, do I get 2 uses out of it?
Does that count as a death?
So the potato bug, because the worm is now dead because it was cut in
The professor basically puts down the potato bug and steps on it right away. You do see the runes starting to act up because of this. You are able to. I almost forget what order it was in. One of the steps revealed the clock face, and then you.
Yeah, the
cast it.
sacrifice reveals the clock face.
Yep.
The time gives you saying it gives you the ability to kind of open the lock, which you can cast the spell into that unlocks it.
Got it.
I think that was it.
Okay.
We did have it written down.
You do?
Yes, I have it written down.
Awesome. Let's see if our memories work properly.
Sorry, I'm warming up some tea. Let me just see what the order of operations was. Short ritual. A word, a sacrifice, a teleportation spell. So, the word first.
I don't think so. I think one of them revealed the clock face. I think that you found out what happened, but then you actually did it, and we did it in a different order.
Word revealed by sacrifice. Word unlocks the clock and spell plays the key. Yeah, I don't know. I've been written
Yeah,
twice.
I think it's the sacrifice. I think you're right. The sacrifice, the word, and then the spell provides the key. Who is so the potato bug? Then a linguistics check, or do any of you speak Hadean?
Not yet, I don't think.
I have comprehend languages. Does that allow you to speak them? Do we need it? It sounds like.
Yep.
To use the word.
You could use a linguistics check, or you could. The word is different. It's a different time of day. It's a,
I'll do it. I'll do the comprehend languages.
all right. You are able with that spell